Chapter 13. Cheaters. Rotten, stinking, low-life slime balls. I found it. I got it. It's right here in a decent lie. That statement came from an opponent in a match I was destined to lose, given the reputation of the particular player, who was known to be a habitual bender of the rules, to say the least. The only thing decent about the lie was his statement about it, which was a total, first-degree, unadulterated lie. We were playing at an appropriately named Muni in Westchester County called Saxon Woods. Ironically, the course was about 1.5 miles from Winged Foot Country Club in Mamaroneck and was one of the half a dozen county-run courses in the midst of dozens of exclusive private facilities in the well-heeled area. As are all the Muni courses, the place was in pretty bad shape, but for us at the time, it was the only game in town. The golf ball my opponent claimed to have found couldn't have been his. The shot he'd just taken from the tee had flown at least 30 to 40 yards right of the fairway to a place that could never and would never have been found by humans. I was carrying my clubs and walking down the left side of the fairway to my ball. I felt it was in some high but playable straw-like grass. To add to the charm of the course, that season had brought drought and everything was brown except for the greens, which were still watered every night. We were on the 8th hole, and I was one down for the front side, thanks to a few mysterious pars from the asshole opponent. At that point, I had no interest in going to check on his miracle find. The guy had a bag full of pinnacle threes and just a few fours in a separate pocket, which he would use as a provisional before he went searching for the original. If I went to check on him, we would be looking at a pinnacle 3 with a red mark, and, well, then, gosh almighty, imagine that luck. I watched as he pitched out to the fairway, and with the ground so hard, the ball boogied up to where he might be able to reach the par 5 in regulation. I found my ball in fairly good shape and felt confident I could scamper a 3-iron up very close to the green. I pured it, and it came out hot, low, and on a mission to the flagstick. It unfortunately ignored the stick, rolled, and came to rest on the back of the green, leaving me a really mean 50-foot putt and an extremely difficult chance for eagle. My opponent, who I think had a name at the time, let's call him Joe, pulled his third into the greenside bunker pin high. Not wanting to leave my putt short with a downhiller to face, I hit it a tad too hard and left myself about 12 feet coming back uphill. Joe's ball came out of the bunker well and had about 24 inches side hill left. Just then I thought, I have got to make this putt for so many reasons. Straight up the hill, Murph. Stay down and hit it. I did, and left it 2 inches short. He tapped it back to me, and I saw his dime, but he had not replaced the ball. There was silence. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't have given this putt to my mother. Wow, this is going to be some great 5, he said. You bet it will. Actually incredible, I replied. He never came close. Oh, shit, too bad, Joe, I offered as I reached for the flagstick. He was useless on the 9th, and I came out one up on the front side. There was so much justice served in that missed 2-footer that it stuck with me for 40 years. But enough play-by-play. As I offered suggestions for improving slow play, allow me to do the same in this chapter for the benefit of those who may be victims of cheaters. Beware of the guy who insists on driving the cart. With many of them, I get it. They just feel more secure and there's absolutely no ill intent. However, there are those who will drive you to your ball first and then hustle to theirs, even if it is further from the green. You might notice that the cart is always positioned in a way that prevents you from seeing the ball and/or the lie. Beware of the guy who will hit his bunker shot out of turn before anyone has seen his lie. Beware of those who will rush to mark a ball even when it's of no help to any player or that ball is in no way interfering with play. I've never been quite sure what's going on there, but most of those helpful players seem to favor the use of an old dark penny as a marker, which of course makes it impossibly hard to see said marker from a distance. I have lost sight of a few of those markers, only to see them appear somewhat closer to the hole than I'd originally thought. Those who do not play strictly by the rules because they are not aware of them are somewhat forgiven, and the horrible names I use to describe the cheaters do not apply in their case. They simply have got to study and play by the rules for all of the reasons I laid out in Chapter 1. Once you really know the rules, there are actually ways to take advantage of them to the extent that it will appear you are, in fact, cheating when really you are simply following a procedure set forth by the rules. However, the Neanderthal mentioned above who found his ball at Saxon Woods, oh so many years ago, did not and does not fall into that classification. Here's the good news. Cheaters lose. It's almost impossible to cheat from the middle of the fairway or anywhere on the green. The need to cheat comes from hitting the ball crooked, resulting in its coming to rest in somewhat unplayable locations. Short of walking to the green and dropping a ball, there is not much a cheater can do that allows him to beat a guy who keeps it in play. That said, I still consider them to be rotten, stinking, low-life slime balls.